A lot of people would be looking out for memory problems, but I'd say that although that is common, that's not the experience for everyone. So for example, with learning difficulties, where the signs of memory loss wouldn't be as obvious, the early signs are changes in mood and behaviour quite often. If the dementia is a front lobe dementia, it's going to be changes in behaviour patterns and attitudes. So people will seem to behave quite differently from before. So it does depend, but really, I suppose the most common one that people look for is a loss of memory that brings some confusion. So it's not like I do all the time, oh my God, where have I put my bag, my keys? I do it all the time. It's about a profound inability to remember things, particularly very recent things. The lesser known things that we relate to dementia are the things that develop as the dementing illness progresses. So an impairment of reasoning. So it's not that a person wouldn't have understanding, but in trying to solve a problem, their ability to effectively problem solve through impaired reasoning would deteriorate. An impairment of attention, so not being able to hold attention for long enough to follow a conversation or keep ahead of what's going on and really understand the context that you're in. An impairment of communication, which might be forgetting the odd word to start with, which might then continue to be a complete loss of language as we would understand it. And I say impairment of communication because people will always be able to communicate. That might be through their behaviour. So if someone wants to communicate something, they will. If they don't have the words, then you'll see it in actions. Sorry, there's more. An impairment of orientation, and that might be time, I don't know what year it is, place, I'm not sure where I am, even in familiar places I might get lost, and person. So you might look familiar, but I don't actually recognise that you're a family member. So an impairment of orientation. The way personality gets expressed changes, so often there's thought to be complete changes in personality, but I think it's more changes in the way personality gets expressed as behaviour changes and as people go through emotional changes as they struggle to cope with a life living with dementia, which must be frightening and confusing and provoke a lot of anxiety. So of course behaviour would change. And a loss of insight into all of those things happening. So if those things are happening and I just cannot see that they're happening, I have no insight to the things that don't work for me, I can't accept them, or I might fabricate answers to things because I just don't know the answers to them anymore. All of those things together would be the more progressive signs that someone has dementia.